Welcome to Analytics with Nags. In this video, I'm going to cover part 2 of Power BI modeling, where the topics I'm going to talk about is like relationship, one-to-one and one-to-many relationship. So let's jump into today's video without further delay. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for notification. Let's begin with relationship. So what it is, it's like a Power BI relationship propagates a filters applied on the columns of a model table to other model tables. That's it. That is a simple definition. Here we have 4 tables. The sales is considered as a fact table and your product is considered as a dimension table. Here is another dimension table. And the product is further related to the category table. So this is what a relationship occurs. So now what is the purpose of relationship is like when you want to analyze the data with different dimensionality, slice and dice it, right? So you will filter by dimensions. That is what we discussed in our previous video, star schema. A fact table surrounded by different dimension tables. So when you want to see the category A in 2018, that is the question. What is the sales quantity of category A in current year 2018? So in order to get this value, you need to filter it. So category A filtered from here, that will propagate to product 1 and 3, right? That is what highlighted. Then it will filter initially, it will filter whatever records 1, 3, right? 1 and 3. But whereas we ask for another filter, see current year 2018. This one falls under current year 2017. So this will be ignored. Only this will be written. This is the main purpose of your relation. Only if you create a relationship between the tables, right, you will get the correct results. So this is the concept behind relationship. We will try to explain it in the demo itself. But now you understand why we need relationship, because it has to propagate filters applied on one table, right, one column in the model table to other model tables. Coming to our next topic, what is one-to-one relationship? So as you can see here, one star meaning one product over here will have multiple entries in this sales table, right? You can see 2, 2, that is product 2 appeared many times. That is what one to many. Whereas in dimension table you have only one entry. So this is one to many. So mostly in star schema the design is one to many. Then where it comes to like a one to one. So this is really people don't aware of it when we need to create a one-to-one relationship, because all the modeling principle says like you need to have a star schema, but star schema is one to many always, but where you will have the one-to-one relationship, right? So basically you need to understand the concept called degenerated dimension, which is nothing but creating a dimension from the fact type tables. Meaning like you have a sales order detail, like in your fact table, assume you have order line number, right? So you need to filter out, or you will consider that as another dimension. Then it becomes the one-to-one relationship. Based on the order line from the sales, you will create another dimension. Then that becomes one-to-one relationship. So in one-to-one relationship, you will have both, right? The cross filter direction, you cannot switch to single or both, it will be both. I will tell you about this as well, what is a cross filter option. So basically your fact table becomes one of the dimension, it is called one-to-one relationship. Then there comes a one-to-many relationship. So this is what we have seen in the previous example, a dimension to fact. and we will see some of the issues in one-to-one relation, I mean one-to-many relation, the bidirectional one, the both direction, and we will try to solve using some DAX query. Let's jump into Power BI for the demo. Let us try to get the data from the database. I'm going to connect to the famous AdventureWorks database. Then we will try to understand the relationship one-to-one and one-to-many. Now you can see here we have data here. Let me pull in the view that have created fact sales. I need this table, as well as I will go for product, dim product, and as well as dim customer. That's it. So I will pick up the 4 tables over here, that is fact and dimension sales, dim customer, dim product. Okay, let me load it, and it will try to deduct the relationship automatically. Basically, if you have a same columns between the tables, right, then it will try to deduct the relationship automatically. Now you can see deduct relationship. Let us try. So where you will see those relationship exist, it will be in the modeling tab. I hope this is not a beginner friendly, because assuming that this video series, the modeling series, assuming like you already have familiar with the core concepts of Power BI and you want to familiar with the modeling part. So what I'm trying to achieve it here is like, let me delete all the relationship, then I will try to ensure that what is the need of relationship, I will explain it. So now I have this fact table. Now you can see the name, the fact reseller sales. Okay, now what I want is, I want to see this reseller sales amount, total amount, and I want to analyze by the product. So I can have a filter over here, where I can have a filter, I can add a filter. I want to analyze by different product, say for example size. Okay, different size I want to analyze it. Let me put it in some card so that it will be easy to understand. So whatever I filter it here, okay, this will not reflect anything, since I am using the color column or size column from the product table, and I'm using the sales amount from this table. So there is no relationship between these two, so there won't be any interactivity. So once I create the relationship between the product and your fact table, right, so I will create one, then we will see what will happen. Let us try to, where is that product key? Yeah, here it is. I'm trying to drag and once you drag and drop, it will try to check the data. It contains a unique product key and it contains many records, then it will create one-to-many. You are not setting this as soon as you drag and drop. We will go to that later. Now you can see, like as soon as you filter it, right, this amount also changes based on the current user. This is the core understanding about why you need a relationship. This is the point number 1. And even you can add multiple dimension to it, so that you can filter it by different dimensions. This is the part 1. What I need is, like, I need to have a one-to-one relationship. What is one-to-one relationship? Now there comes a part over here. I will try to explain it in the database so that you will understand it. So basically what I did is, like, I have combined the sales order number and order line number. What is these two? Let us try to query it, these two, in a database. Sales order number, let me have those columns. So basically order number can be considered as your bill number. Under the bill number you have multiple orders, right? And line items. That is what. So this is the sales order number 43659, which is having multiple line items, meaning this line item for product 1, this for another product. It can be for soap, it can be for some beverages, it can be for some cosmetics, whatever, right? You can see that link to the product dimension. That is absolutely fine. Now the core part is like I have combined and created the surrogate key here, okay? Because for this particular order number, because people wants to analyze, this is unique, meaning like these two combination is the unique, and people wants to filter it, okay? So when you have it in the same fact table, it will be performantly hit. So it is good idea to convert it into a surrogate key. I mean to say this combination should be put it in a dimension table. So what I did is I combined these two and put it in a one new column. Okay, how did I combine? I replaced the this SO, and then multiplied this numerical value with 1000 and added this line number, so that I will not assuming like there won't be 1000 line items for a single order number. I multiplied the 1000. It can be 10,000 also, so that I will get some unique combination that will not be repeated. So this is the sales order key, and I added these two in my dimension table. I consider this as my dimension table, and in the fact I am removing these two columns. Okay, you can see in the fact table I do not have sales order number, sales order line number. Instead I have this computed column. So this is what I have it in my table. Okay, so basically like you need to analyze the fact table column, okay, that is having a unique value, that your fact acts as a dimension, then it becomes your one-to-one relationship. That is what I am trying to convey. Now you can link this sales order key over here, then you can see here automatically it has detected. And as I said before, the cardinality you cannot change it, because it is one-to-one relationship and it should be always in a both direction. So if it is one-to-one relationship, when you need to create is for fact table unique column should be analyzed, right, or to be filtered, then you need to go for one-to-one relationship. Another factor for creating a one-to-one, you may ask me like why we can't create. See, one factor is like once you want to filter this order line number as a filter once, then you need to go for this one-to-one relationship. Another advantage is like if you have a hierarchy like this, you can create a hierarchy also. You can have a sales order number, underneath you can create an hierarchy. That is also possible when you have the dedicated dimension for your fact live table. So this is what about one-to-one relationship. Let's stop that one. Let's move on to one-to-many relationship. In order to understand the one-to-many relationship, I have brought new dimension dim reseller here, and by mistake I brought the customer. I removed that. That is fine. Now you can see this is the typical star schema where you have your fact table and respective dimension table surrounded by it, and it is connected to one-to-many relationship, meaning like every reseller, one single record in a reseller in the dimension table have many records. Even here one product will be available in the dim product, and in fact it will reference multiple entries. Okay, that is the concept behind it. Now the core part over here is what we need to understand here is like, as we already see the example, like we have filtered using the size. Now I have a color here over here from the dim product, and here I have brought the business type from the dim reseller. So I am filtering. When I filter one value from the dim reseller, right? I mean dim product, that is red color. Then I can filter the business type. So both filters propagated, like from here one filter is propagated, from here another filter propagated, and the result is whatever content from these two filters, that will be summed up and showed the sales amount. This is what one to many relationship, and this is how the filters propagate. Now the common problem in this one to many relationship, one thing I want to address over here is like, so we have two dimension here. One is this is from reseller sales, I mean dim reseller, and this is from a dim product. So now one of the problem, as I highlighted, once you click on particular member in from a dimension, the respective dimension is not filtered. That is like when I click on warehouse, only those transaction happened in warehouse in the fact table pertaining to these colors are not filtered. Meaning, like, what I'm trying to say here is like, you see here when I do a filter, this will filter the only the facts internet sales. That will not in turn filter the dim product, whatever products belongs to that particular filter I applied. So this is the common problem. Now to demonstrate that, when I click on value added sales and gray color, the value is blank because there is no transaction happen with this combination. So people wants to filter and see it based on one such a filter. When they apply filter here, only those colors brought by that in the fact table should display here. That is not possible using this particular design. To enable it, whatever the in our case, it has to propagate from here, right? Once you filter anything from business type, then it should filter the fact and the respective product only should be displayed. So in this case, you can enable the bidirectional filter over here, cross filter direction. So we learned till this time, it is not good practice to enable the bidirectional filter. We will try to work around this particular scenario, how to tackle this, but for you to understand it, how it behaves, right? Now if you go back, when I click on warehouse, as expected, it filtered the data along with the different objects in the, I mean different entities in the product dimension as well, that is color. Now even you can see the value of specialty bike, nothing has that particular value, the gray, whichever contains that only is displayed over here. So but this is not so efficient once the requirement is like this. The way you can handle it is like, you always should have single direction for this. For these kind of stuffs, what you can do is, this sales amount, okay, is blank for that particular entry, whichever doesn't have any mapping. So just create a measure. This is where you will end up with creating measures. People often won't create measures, they will directly use this measures simply. So one of the use cases is this. So I use sum of sales amount here. Then in this filter, okay, you use this measure. I named it as measure, that's fine, you can name it properly. In the filter level visual, you can choose is not blank. Okay, now you can see here that as went, even whenever you choose, okay, that respective values will be available. So the gray will be went. In some cases, based on the chosen metrics, the respective values will be displayed. So this kind of tackle you can do it using this measure. You can have a proper one-to-many relationship, and once you need a filter from one dimension to another, you can use this trick. I hope you like this video and understand about the relationship, when to use one-to-one, and you create a star schema using one-to-many relationship, and there are some times you want to cross filter another dimension, then you can use such meshes simply as a visual level filter. If you like the video, press the thumbs up button and comment below for queries. Do remember that data is your asset.